Good morning, James. You know, a number of parents in this community watching their kids just a bit closer this morning after getting word of this. It's important to note that this guy was not an employee of the school district. He simply worked with an after-school program here. He's accused of touching a 10-year-old child at that after-school program a number of times over several months. If we can, let's take a look at his mug. Right now, breaking news we've been following all morning out of South Tampa. Tampa police on the scene of a shooting with multiple victims. But they have not charged him with a crime at this point. Now, the sheriff's office plans to step up patrols at local schools and bus stops in this area until they can sort all of this out. But they are sending that warning out to parents this morning to always make sure that your kids are aware of their surroundings. Now, investigators say something was very helpful in this investigation. These surveillance cameras posted outside of this gated community. This is a massive attack, very disturbing. We're talking about 200,000 victims across the world, 150 different countries. Now, basically, these hackers are locking folks out of their computers and asking for cold hard cash to gain access. Now, a lot of folks may have seen this on their computers over the weekend. And it's all thanks to a parent sharing this information on social media. Both parents and kids are being warned this morning to keep a lookout for this guy. Now, we spoke with a parent who says that her daughter was approached simply walking home from Plant High School here. A number of people we spoke with are relieved to know at least that word is getting out about all of this. A poor St. Lucie couple in jail this weekend after this strange car crash. Investigators say it was all fueled by drugs. The worst part of it all, they actually had a baby inside of that car. Now, police were called in to help after the car shot right past a stop sign and slammed right into a number of people we spoke with in this community simply can't believe it. They say Bruce McAllister has been a pillar in this community for years, but now check this out. He has a mugshot. People in this community shot. Number of toxic materials as well as tires inside of the building, as well as business right next door. At this point, it appears that firefighters do have this thing under control. I want to show you guys something. This is some of that warehouse. As you can see, a total loss here, completely gutted. They simply can't understand why all of this happened. If you look right behind me, this memorial continues to grow this morning, just steps from where he was shot. Investigators are on the scene right now trying to determine this. This was a pretty serious situation. Also, the sheriff's office is also here. They have investigators on the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened here. And you mentioned $1 million in damage estimates already. And this was a very dangerous situation for firefighters out here. It turns out that one of those storage units actually had weapons and ammunition in the inside. If we can, let's toss to that video. New developments this morning in the case of that 15-year-old girl found living with her former teacher in California. We now know what the teen said to authorities when they found her. ABC's Brian Clark has that and what his wife is now saying about her husband's arrest. First and foremost, of course, exactly what that substance was. They sent that off to be tested. They should be getting those results hopefully back today or maybe within the next few days. Also, who sent this package and why? As you can see, things at the courthouse here pretty quiet and calm this morning. Thankfully, things should be getting back to normal as folks return to work this morning, but that certainly was not the case yet. In fact, we're talking about 4,000 students across Hillsborough County, and of course this plan does come with a bit of controversy. Some parents concerned about moving their students, and others are concerned about the quality of education if their kids are moved to a school that has been rated as lower. I want to point something out for you guys. This is the plan that Hillsborough County School Board members will be looking over 5 different maps. Well, Dia, at this point, this is still a very fluid investigation. Investigators here trying to gather as much information as they can about a possible suspect and if anybody else in this community could possibly be in danger this morning. As you can see, very active. That's what deputies are investigating this morning. Thankfully, all 3 of those inmates are expected to be okay. I want to show you guys something. This is a picture of the guy investigators say is behind it all. His name is Robert. And new video just into the newsroom this morning. Our cameras capturing this terrifying video from the front lines of that wildfire burning near Naples. The 30th Avenue fire has charred more than 5,000 acres and destroyed 9 homes so far. You know, the school district says that student safety is their #1 priority this morning. So school times for those 2 schools, the middle and high school, have been pushed back to about 10:45 this morning. School administrators say they want to ensure that students are away from any of that heavy smoke, and thankfully that has not been the issue out here this morning. If you remember our live reports, the smoke was so thick in this area you could barely see across the street. Things are a lot better out here this morning. Now, the school district also plans to contact other parents by about 6 o'clock this morning. Still to come this morning, it's the Rays' big season opener, which is another way to start the weekend, no doubt. And of course, what's a ball game without some good grub?
I have absolutely no idea.
Afghan officials say more than 100 Army personnel have been killed or wounded after gunmen wearing Army uniforms stormed a military compound. Now, officials say there were 10 attackers, 2 carried out suicide attacks, and 8 others were killed in that battle. Investigators say the attackers entered the compound and shot some soldiers as they prayed in a mosque inside the base. Welcome back to this morning's Rescues in Action. 2 very special guests this morning, Cecilia and Wilson.
Yes.
Wilson is a big dog. Let me tell you. Tell me a little bit about
Large
Wilson.
brush fire.
And now state investigators believe this is an act of arson and the person responsible may have done it before. James, that was the big concern out here this morning, but it appears that firefighters have this entire thing under control, thankfully, this morning. With daylight, we're getting a better look at the damage. As you can see behind me, this warehouse here, pretty much a total loss. Now, earlier this morning, I spoke with the daughter of the owner of this place, and she tells me that it took the family nearly 30 years to build up this business, and they're simply devastated.
My first thought is God is so good. Nobody was hurt. My dad, all the people that were here are fine.
Brandy Cumpston, understandably emotional this morning, looking at her family's life's work destroyed.
It breaks my heart because he's lost everything that he's worked for his whole life. He's lost his livelihood.
Her father, Richard, opening the business here 27 years ago. We got a good picture of what things look like from high above D&D Automotive and Action Air One Thursday. Billowing smoke from the huge warehouse fire in the area of 44th Avenue E and 9th Street E could be seen for miles in Bradenton.
Oh, the smoke was terrible. I mean, the smoke went up 150 feet to start.
Most of the building gutted. At least 6 vehicles in our view burned out. The major issue, though, toxic materials and tires helping to keep the fire going. Firefighters spending the night and early morning monitoring hot spots.
Good Lord giveth, good Lord taketh away.
Cumpston telling us the fire started when this car backfired. 4 people inside at the time, including her dad, all made it out. Despite the loss, she's looking at these angels as a sign. They're the only thing that remain, placed here years ago by her deceased mother. She believes her mom protected those inside and will help the family make it through this.
Everything's destroyed except for the angel. The angel wasn't burned. So I have a good feeling that she was around somewhere and keeping everybody safe.
And the family is trying to remain positive this morning despite all of this damage. A number of the family members are here on scene right now, kind of already starting the process to clean up. Something else I want to point out to you guys, another fire truck has just pulled up on the scene here. They've actually been monitoring hot spots again throughout the morning. That's been the major concern, so firefighters back on the scene here. So although things are calm, of course, the local fire department trying to maintain and ensure that everybody else, including those other businesses right across the fence there, are safe this morning. For now, reporting live in Manatee County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Investigators say all of this happened at this gas station right behind me just this week, but the guy did not know that he had been caught on surveillance video. This morning, investigators here in Pinellas County are hopeful that someone out here watching this morning will turn this guy in. Take a moment and look very closely at this video. The guy right here, the one in the white hat and ripped jeans. Yeah, he's the one Pinellas County deputies on the hunt for this morning. They say he's a crook, scamming area gas station customers.
I have no words for that.
Those we spoke with disgusted, to say the least.
You have to always be alert, just always, no matter where you are.
I actually go into the store every single time now. I've gotten caught 2 or 3 times with skimmers.
In these most recent Pinellas County cases, investigators say this guy apparently broke open the pumps installing the skimmers. Just this week, 2 area stations hit. One, a speedway station along US 19 alternate in Palm Harbor. The other one right here on Seminole Boulevard, where he was caught on surveillance camera. The vehicle he was in also caught on tape, a black Cadillac SUV. Deputies releasing these snapshots, believing someone tuned in right now knows him, willing to hand him over. And investigators are also urging folks out here in Pinellas County this morning to check their bank statements and to make sure that they have not been victimized in this case. And they say always be aware of your surroundings and check those gas pumps before you pay. Of course, we'll be checking with the sheriff's office this morning to see if they've got any leads on a possible arrest in this case. For now, reporting live in Pinellas County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News.
Yeah, we'll show you the back.
Fred Yeager describes the hospitality and restaurant management program here at Hillsborough Community College a hidden gem.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's literally one of the best in the country among two-year colleges. Students here given real-world experience from the gourmet dining room to the kitchen and restaurant operations.
I think that says an awful lot about the program.
Nancy Summit, one of the students taking advantage. A major benefit for Summit, along with other students, is the low cost of a two-year school. Most are awarded paid internships right away.
And I feel like these internships for me are going to be critical in helping me kind of discover which pathway I want to go with this.
Okay, here's the pretty cool part about this program. You have to hear job placement. Professors tell me that they're placing 100% of students in jobs. That's right, 100%. In fact, they're running into a bit of a problem, so to speak. The program working so well that some students aren't able to finish because they have to start their new jobs. Yeager tells us there are actually too many great paying possibilities and not enough trained students.
Yes, and obviously being here in Florida, especially in the Tampa Bay area, we have a tremendous amount of opportunity, whether it be a hotel casino, it could be a country club, could be a full-service resort, restaurant. We have it all here.
For Summit, this could be a major step towards a bold new career. At Hillsborough Community College, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. School administrators say student safety is their #1 priority. In fact, the start time for the high school here, as well as the middle school, has been pushed back to 10:45 this morning. Conditions, though, as you can tell, a lot better today than they were yesterday morning.
Smoke, some kids were on the ground, and then some people were having a hard time standing up, and they were also giving out masks.
A pretty hectic situation outside River Ridge High and Middle Schools Monday. Some parents frustrated over how it all played out.
To put these kids in harm's way, and they've had the fire since Friday, I think. Friday or Saturday was when the fire started.
The issue has been wind blowing in thick smoke from the wildfire at Starkey Wilderness Park into the neighborhood here.
I was a little bit nervous because it hasn't happened before.
We spoke with students this morning who described for us what conditions were like.
They said for everybody to go home, and it was like all blurry and it was like foggy. It started all the way up there.
This morning, a later start time for students. District administrators planning to keep a close eye on the situation. And at this point this morning, it does not appear that any other schools were affected by this morning. But of course, we will be continuing contact with the school district to keep you updated on any possible changes. For now, reporting live in Pasco County, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. We're talking about $72 million. Now, that number has ballooned since the city first discussed this project a few years ago. Now, as you can see behind me, construction on the first phase of this project has already started. This morning, we spoke with a number of taxpayers around town who simply don't believe that the city is doing the right thing by spending all of this money on this project. At Stacy's Cottage Cafe in St. Pete, the morning talk is typically about last night's sports scores or the big news in politics. Today, though, it's all about cold, hard cash.
It sounds like a ridiculous number. I mean,
in particular, the $72 million set to be shelled out for the city's new police department.
We're here trying to build this city, and we have a police station. Do we need a new one?
A scaled-down version of the project would have rehabbed the current facility, around $32 million. But Mayor Rick Kreisman boosted funding for the project. Construction already underway for this massive project, millions being spent. But the mayor says once complete, this place will be state-of-the-art. The headquarters will be able to withstand a Category 5 hurricane. Additional features that have to be okayed by the city council will be added, including a parking deck and solar panels. Some taxpayers agree the facility will no doubt be impressive. They just question if it's the best use of the city's dollars.
Let's do a facelift. Why do you have to move the whole thing when there's other things that need to be done also?
And that groundbreaking is set for 10 o'clock this morning, so just under 30 minutes. At that point, we're expected to get more renderings as well as to what all of this will look like when complete. Of course, the discussion regarding the cost will continue. For now, reporting live in St. Pete, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. Ninth grade student, along with her friend, as you can imagine, parents in this area are very concerned about this. They're spreading the word about all of this via social media. They're hopeful that somebody out there sees something and will contact police.
It's unfortunate to see something like this happen with so many young students in the area. The elementary school is just a few blocks south of here, high school a few blocks north.
A heightened sense of concern and awareness this morning in the community surrounding Plant High. South Tampa parents on alert. This after a young student was flashed walking home from school.
He was exposed and, pleasuring himself.
Dawn Joyce telling us that strange man waited until after her daughter and a friend were just steps away, swinging open his car door, flashing her daughter. The girls ran to a nearby coffee shop for help.
He had a smirk on his face and he was, kind of laughing, and he had dark sunglasses on.
He had a white beard and was wearing a Hawaiian-style shirt. Word being sent to parents on social media this morning. Those we spoke with keeping their eyes peeled until the flasher is off the streets. And a number of neighbors we spoke to in this community say this man has not been seen since this incident. Of course, Tampa police urging folks in this area to keep a lookout and urging those kids not to walk alone. Of course, we will be speaking with police later on this morning to find out if they've gotten any more information about this man that can possibly lead to an arrest in this case. For now, reporting live in South Tampa, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News. And it turns out that this facility is used by a number of local businesses here. Now, everything is housed here from equipment to vehicles, and a number of those people showing up this morning are simply hopeful that their valuable items weren't destroyed. With daylight, a much better look at the damage following a raging fire overnight here at this Clearwater public storage facility.
Oh, some people keep classic cars. I know one guy is where he keeps all his motorcycles.
The business just feet away from busy US 19 North.
We keep our work trucks, but other people keep extra materials, equipment.
A steady flow of customers like Mike Williams pouring in, hopeful they'd find something left.
Most of our life is in there, so it was pretty concerning.
Check out this video. We got it the moment we arrived. This, a pretty serious situation. We're told one of the units on fire had weapons and ammunition inside. Firefighters had to be careful as they tried to get this under control. Damage estimates right now at $1 million.
Whew, that's terrible.
At least 20 units catching fire, each having to be hit individually. This morning, investigators with the fire department and the sheriff's office gathering evidence, piecing together exactly what happened. And a few things to keep you up to date on. I just got off the phone with the Largo fire chief. He tells me that the state fire marshal's office is taking over this investigation. In fact, the state fire marshal is here right now investigating, trying to piece together clues as to exactly what happened here. Of course, we'll be speaking with them throughout the day, trying to figure out what they come up with. And also, there's a community, a mobile home park directly behind this facility. I've been speaking with a number of people this morning, simply thankful that firefighters were able to contain this thing and that it didn't spread to those nearby homes. For now, reporting live in Clearwater this morning, Rodney Dunigan, ABC Action News.